Tom and Ollie's Big Kids Club. Tom and Ollie's Big Kids Club. Tom and Ollie's Big Kids Club. Tom and Ollie's Big Kids Club.
It's all that shit stuff.
Tom and Ollie's Big Kids Club.
Hello and welcome back to Tom and Ollie.
I'll tell you what, this week I'll go for it.
Here, go on.
Hello and welcome to Tom and Ollie's Big Kids Club. I'm Tom.
Can't do that again because I was like doing that now because I had
All right then.
slobber.
Hello and welcome to Tom and Ollie's Big Kids Club. I'm Tom.
I'm Ollie.
And we spoke to a bit of a legend in the animation world. His name is Wes, and I've forgotten his second name.
His name's Wes Archer, and he's worked on all the shows you watched as a kid. So like Simpsons, Futurama, King of the Hill, and more recently Bob's Burgers and Rick and Morty. But before we get to his interview, how you been, Tom? You all right?
I've been all right, man. How about yourself? What you been up to?
Myself? Yeah, I've been okay. I've just landed a music video, so I've just started work on that. And before I even...
I hear you've got loads of time to do it as well, Ollie.
Oh, yeah. The good old 4 weeks to do a claymation music video. As soon as I got the green lit, like my Twitch and my eye came back, and I was just
Bless you.
like proper stressed out Twitch. But yeah,
All you need to do for that then is just make a load of morphs,
just like little brown and white characters, Chaz.
or just little
Chaz and Dave. What was it? No, it wasn't Morph and
Chaz
Chaz.
and Dave.
No, it was
Morph and Chaz.
Morph and Chaz. Yeah. But what else I've been doing? I've been making some more toys, as I do.
Yeah.
I've watched a few films. I've watched Badlands. Have you seen Badlands?
I have many moons ago. What's his name? The famous actor.
It's
in
Terrence Malick who directed
Yes.
it, and it's got Martin Sheen.
that? It's Martin Sheen, and he's wearing that really nice tight white shirt in it, isn't he?
Yeah, and he's wearing
t-shirt.
it's like double denimed up with these like real fancy
he looks
shoes.
cool as fuck. And
Yeah,
what's the girl's name in that? She was in Carrie, wasn't she?
Yeah, it's Sissy Spacek, I think.
Yeah, she's fantastic in that. I've been wanting to watch a film with her called The Miner's Daughter.
Oh yeah, it's a good film. That is.
It looks
Very good.
bleak.
She's a really good actress. But that film is beautiful. It's like stunning, and the music I didn't realise. So you know True Romance, that kind of dun 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 dun.
Yeah,
I didn't realise that was from that film, but it predates that, and it's by like this German composer who like did the music for the Nazi party and stuff like that. And then I watched his follow-up film called Days of Heaven, sorry, with Richard Gere, and that film is beautiful. If you haven't seen that film, you need to watch that. And the score's by
And what's that called? Sorry, Ollie.
Days of Heaven.
Days of Heaven.
It's got Richard Gere in it, and
Right.
and those two films complement each other really well. And the music's by Ennio Morricone. Is it Ennio Morricone? And R.I.P. You know,
R.I.P. mate.
died a
Bless
few
you.
weeks ago.
Morricone.
But yeah, the music's amazing.
Mariachi.
Mariachi. And it basically they shot in the morning and at night during magic hour. And that's so they shot for like half an hour at the beginning of the day and the end of the day.
Well, how long did that take?
The good thing about these two films as well, they're only 90 minutes each, which is a perfect length for a film in my opinion. But they're like so visually dense and beautiful to look at.
Oh, fantastic, man.
I watched Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3, the original one as well, which is a really cool film.
Which film was that? Sorry, I didn't quite hear that.
Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3 with Walter Matthau.
Taking of Pelham. Oh, okay,
and it's got Robert Shaw in it, you know, from Jaws, as like the as the bad guy. It's really good. Check it out. It's good. Like it's like the precursor to like Die Hard or Speed or something like that.
Oh, sick.
Yeah.
Well, I watched a fantastic stop motion film because I've just bought all my bits and waiting for my software download code.
Why you haven't got that already? I don't know.
It's doing my head in. But yeah, I've got Dragon Frame and loads of bits and bobs, so I've just been watching stop motion non-stop. And I watched an amazing one last night. I really want you to watch it, called Madame Tutli Pully.
Okay.
I can't pronounce it. I gather it's French, Madame. It's only, I think, about 13 minutes long. I think it's won a few awards. It Let me have a little look on the Wikipedia. But basically, the look of it is, it's kind of real life dolls. Like the eyes look like real eyes. I can't say anything more than that. It's like the way they look is beautiful and terrifying.
Have you ever watched any of Jan Svankmeyer's films?
That rings a massive bell, and I think it's the guy I really like, but I didn't know his name.
Yeah, he makes those really like messed up, but they're kind of like
noir.
Yeah, but they're very like social, kind of like talking about social issues of the day. I mean, he hasn't done a film in a long time. He might be dead. I don't know if he's dead or alive, but he did like there's one animation where there's these two heads and they're constantly eating things and kind of change, like they're eating themselves and changing, and it's really dark and fucked up. And the Quay brothers as well make some really messed up stuff.
The Quay brothers, those are like the black and white sort of. Oh god, like what's the word for that style?
What do you mean? Like
there's like how do you spell the Quay brothers? There's a name.
I think they go by the Brothers Quay as opposed to Quay
Brothers Quay, yeah. So, like Street of Crocodiles. This is the stuff I love because like all the Tool videos.
Yeah, like if you like Jan Svankmajer stuff is like the Tool videos.
Yeah.
So like Jan Svankmajer did a feature-length animation about like Alice in Wonderland. So he's still alive. He's 85, but he's retired now. Well, it says he's... I don't know. Wikipedia says he's still active, but then it also says he's retired.
Right.
But yeah, he's a self-labeled surrealist animator.
Yeah, so, self-labeled, eh? That's
yep.
not very surrealistic.
But you should check out his work, like Alice and Faust, and then like all of his crazy short films. So like, I'm trying to think what the ones that like when I was at uni, this is like they constantly showed us like his films like non-stop. They absolutely adored his stuff. What's there to talk about? Anything interesting? Did you see the Super Nintendo Lego thing that's coming out?
No. So like the new film, is it?
No, to mark the 35th anniversary of the Nintendo, the original Nintendo Entertainment System, they've made a Lego version of it. So
is this playable, or is it you just build a Lego?
No, it's like you build the set, and then you can lift it up and you build a cartridge which you can put inside of it. And you also build a TV with a screen that rotates, and it plays a level of Mario, and like as you rotate it, this Mario jumps up and down like on the...
That's awesome.
I mean,
have you seen the Super Nintendo World in Japan?
No.
That they're building at the moment?
Oh, like a theme park?
Yeah, theme park. So it's like Disney World, but just Super Mario and all the rest of it.
Take me to Hyrule, I'll live it.
Well, all they've got at the moment, because like obviously it's not like been, they've not let anyone in yet. People have been flying over the top and taking photos. Let me see if I can find a photo.
I hope it does look like the old Zeldas, like top down, and people.
Oh man, it looks awesome. Super Nintendo World. Oh, it'd be Nintendo World, wouldn't it?
Because I know they're making a Mario movie, and it's like the people who did like Despicable Me or something like that are doing it, like a CGI movie.
Oh right, yeah.
And there's also a Mario Lego coming out where you actually create a level, and you've got like this big Mario figure. Have you seen it? And you put him on the level.
No, I might have seen that actually. So let me.
I wanted to shave today. I look like a right hobo.
Well, that's two of us.
Mate, your stubble is what you want about.
What do you mean? Well, I am baby-faced.
The problem with my stubble is because it goes grey here. It looks like I've got big jowls.
Right, let me show you this bad boy. Here you go.
Oh,
there
wow.
it is.
Oh, wow. Look at that, man. That looks like
I really want to go.
I can't point to it, but the one massive Mario level looks like it's at Mario 3D Worlds. It looks insane.
What, this one here?
Yeah, look at it.
Man. Looks sick, doesn't it?
I mean, obviously, give me
you
the
can
cat suit and I'll climb up them walls.
I'm trying to figure out all the bits. So that's like the princess's castle, I gather.
I'm guessing that's Bowser's at the other end.
Yeah.
Do you reckon they'll do some tunnels where you go in one end, you come out the other? Bloop, bloop, bloop.
I think they've got them here. Look. So you go in. I don't think you come back out though.
I mean, they're going to have that music as you're
that.
walking around. If you go underneath the castle or something.
I reckon there'd be only a certain amount of time you could do in there, you know.
Why? What, just be so visually like...
Have you ever been to Disney World?
I've been to Universal, which isn't too bad.
Universal, I could do that. But Disney World, I was a teenager at the time and a goth. So
it's too bright.
Yeah, it was too bright. I was walking around in Florida in leather trousers.
You
like,
wore
sweating.
leather trousers?
Yeah, of course I was. Mate, I used to have drain pipes. Little drain pipe, not jeans, leather trousers. I'll find you a photo one day. But yeah, walking around Disney World, and it hurts your eyes and your ears because everyone's so fucking nice. But it's, yeah, one of those places you got to go, man.
It's like I found Times Square quite overwhelming because it's got, you know, you've got video, all the advert things everywhere, all video, so they're constantly moving and they're bright and they're loud as well. And I just found it so like visually kind of and audibly overbearing almost. And I was like,
yeah,
it's cool, but it's also quite a lot to take in.
Because when I went to Piccadilly Circus, I remember thinking it's going to be like that sort of vibe, but it's not. It's just like an intersection.
Yeah, Piccadilly's it's not like Times Square is just insane.
I went when I was about 13 to Times Square, and I remember, is it a Virgin Megastore that was there?
I don't know if it's there now.
It won't be there now, but I remember going there, getting myself some Marilyn Manson albums, 13, you know, as you do. And like we had a family argument in the middle of Times Square. Can't remember what it was about, but my dad stormed off one way, my mom stormed off one way, and like I'm just like, what the fuck's going on? And I just remember it thinking,
were you like
this
Kevin
is like
McAllister lost in?
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. I'm going to end up. I would just wish I had my mom's credit card, and I would have gone wild.
Credit card, you've got it. No, when I went to Times Square, like I went to Midtown Comics. And there was this like our hotel was just round the corner from it, so we'd go to the deli, and you know like how it's like a newsagent's, but in the middle they've just got hot food and stuff, and you kind of like just pile it into and we'd just get like really nice food and just take it home to the hotel and just binge on all this like junk food. It was amazing.
Oh man, but the junk food over there is fantastic. Yeah. I remember having pizza over there, and it was like the best thing I've ever tasted.
Well, like, you know, as soon as we got out of the hotel after checking in, we went to Times Square because, like I said, it's around the corner. And there's a hot dog stand, and they had this like high-rise seated area you could just sit in it. So we had a massive hot dog and a beer, and it was brilliant. And I was just like, I'm in fucking New York with a massive hot dog. This is awesome. And then like round the corner is the place where is the building from Gremlins 2. Opposite that is the bank that's in the...
Oh, I wish I'd known that when I was there.
You've got down Manhattan, you've got the entrance to the Men in Black kind of area. You've got the bank district where like loads of films are shot, and like The Dark Knight Rises was shot there. Then you've got all the areas from Ghostbusters.
Isn't it nuts?
You look is like, I've seen that in a movie. I've seen that in a movie.
I was going to say, but isn't it nuts how they? I suppose it's brilliant for them because it attracts tourism. But imagine going to work and they've shut down a street because they're filming something in New York.
Well, I mean, if you watch the Ghostbusters documentary that I happen to work on, that is now available at Zavi.
Nice little segue there.
On zavi.co.uk, or you can like download it off.
Yiffy torrents.
No, no, you do not, Claire or Anthony. If you listen to this, I do not endorse that at all. I do not know this man. No, you can get it off Amazon Prime, I think.
Yeah.
You're bad, Tom. You're bad.
Stickled me.
Yeah, they kind of talk about how New York was kind of pissed with the Ghostbusters production because they'd close off so much of like the main like roads that it just backlog of traffic, and people would just get angry. Man. And like if you know, like if you watch films that New Yorkers are like always stereotypically like just angry or
watch yourself. Yeah. That was my New Yorker. Get off the sidewalk. That's what they say.
You'd fit right in, mate.
Where you walking? Watch where you're walking. Oh Jesus!
Are you trying to do Midnight Cowboy?
I'm walking out.
All right, so enough of that guff. Should we get into today's main event, and that's our interview with Animation Director Wes Archer?
Yeah, before we start, we'd just like to thank the chap from Rockin' Pins who put us in contact with Wes. If you'd like to go and check out his website as well, he does a whole array of merchandise, including stuff for people like Richard Pryor, King of the Hill, Beavis and Butthead, tons of different cartoon merch, really nice quality enamel pins. I'm planning on ordering some soon.
Yeah, it's all legit as well. It's not like your Moody Gold bootleggy stuff, is it? From
which has its place.
It does have its place, but yeah. Anyway, check it out. Enjoy. So, hello and welcome back to Tom and Ollie's Big Kids Club. I'm Ollie.
I'm Tom.
And we have a very special guest with us today, and that is...
Hi, I'm Wes Archer.
And so, for those who don't know, and you should, but Wes has worked on some of the cartoons that have defined, well, mine especially, my childhood, my life, you know. Simpsons. Like, how many episodes of The Simpsons did you direct?
I think it was 26.
Bloody hell, that's insane.
Or 26 and a third.
And a third. Oh, is that like a Treehouse of Terror one?
One act of the first Halloween episode.
And what else have you worked on? King of the Hill?
King of the Hill.
Yeah, then I went on to King of the Hill, and then I did like some internet stuff and a couple of episodes of Futurama during those years, and left King of the Hill, went back to King of the Hill, stayed till the end, and then I worked on The Good Family, which was one season on ABC.
See, I love that show.
Have you seen it or heard of it?
Yeah, I've seen it. It's online. I thought it was great. I thought it was quite ahead of its time, to be honest.
It was pretty good. It was. It might have been a Fox show. It might have been better as a Fox show, but yeah, from my understanding, they went to ABC because they got a better deal, like more ownership of it or something. I don't know, but I don't think it got the scheduling right at ABC.
So that was the other Mike Judge show, yeah?
Yeah, it was Mike Judge in collaboration with John Altshuler and Dave Krinsky, who were execs on King of the Hill. And so it wasn't like a purely Mike Judge created project.
Right, because he's coming back to the world of animation, isn't he?
Yeah. He's announced recently there's going to be more Beavis and Butthead.
Well, I'm very excited for that personally.
Yeah.
So what else was I going to ask? Oh yeah, and then more recently you've been on Rick and Morty.
After that, I went to Bob's Burgers.
Oh yeah, Bob's Burgers.
First 3 seasons.
What series is that on now? Has that been going for quite a while now?
They're probably up to like season 10 or something now.
Let me know. Time goes too fast these days. It's ridiculous.
And then Rick and Morty, which I'm doing now.
So let's go back to the beginning. So like kind of what got you into wanting to be an animator then? What was like your origins, your superhero origins?
I think it actually was Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Primarily, that made me think I could actually do it as a career.
What? So like the cutout animation, like Terry Gilliam did, or just like the style of the humor, or?
I never really thought I could do Disney quality animation. I didn't have a lot of interest in Disney movies. So I think when I saw that, and I saw this thing called the Fantastic Animation Festival. Oh
yeah. So what's that then?
Which was a collection of shorts in the 70s. What else? There were pretty interesting things. I mean, there was the Ralph Bakshi movies.
Oh yeah, like Fritz the Cat and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, Wizards.
Yeah, that was a great one.
I remember, everyone was going to see Star Wars, but I wanted to see Wizards. Wizards was released at the same time as Star Wars, so it just got buried. But
I still think that's a great film, though.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Like,
so it could, Ralph Bakshi movies. I think anything good about them were really kind of the fault of the sequence directors and the animators that worked on it. He hired a lot of talented people, but I don't think he was a very cohesive director. From what I understand, it was pretty chaotic on one of those productions.
Like, I recently rewatched Cool World the other day. Have you ever seen that one?
I'm sorry, what's that? There's a helicopter flying by.
Oh, okay. Did you ever watch Cool World? I recently rewatched that one.
No, I never watched that.
That's a very bizarre film, and you can tell that
I'll watch it.
A lot of like the rug was pulled from under him. Like a lot of money was cut from that film, and I think a lot of people had their fingers in that film, and it kind of changed. But
yeah, I've heard some wicked stories about him from people who've worked at on those productions.
Oh yeah.
What, just his mood or how he treats his workers?
I can't even really repeat it.
I've heard he's pretty insane. So you were watching like Monty Python and Ralph Bakshi movies.
Yeah. I thought I would just kind of learn how to animate on commercials and music videos or whatnot. I remember Saturday Night Live had Mr. Bill. That was pretty funny.
So what was Mr. Bill then?
It was a claymation, kind of silly.
Okay. So like when you were younger, did you ever like attempt to make your own like animations or anything like that? Did you have like a Super 8 camera or anything like that?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, exactly. So in high school, I turned into this kind of private film nerd. So I rigged up this down shooter so I could press the button really fast and shoot off 3 or 4 frames at a time. So I put a lot of effort into making a portfolio to submit to go to CalArts. Did a lot of drawings and animation stuff, and just kind of put all my effort into that. So I got accepted at CalArts. I think CalArts was a good place to go. It was one of only 2 animation programs in the country at that time.
Really?
I think the other one was in New York.
I think we're speaking to I don't know if you know her, Yvette Kaplan.
Yeah, I listened to most of that podcast.
Yeah, she was absolutely lovely, but she was saying the same thing around the era she was being taught or learning. There wasn't very much. Is that your dog in the background?
Do you hear that?
Yeah, I've got my little one here.
I didn't know if it was Max.
No, I was going to say Max has got a growl on him now.
Yeah, he's chasing birds. He's smart.
Oh, bless him.
He's a little mutt we adopted almost a year ago. Saved him from death row.
Oh,
he's great. Anyways,
what's your dog's name? Sorry,
Iggy.
Iggy.
Biggie.
I-G-G-Y. Iggy. Yeah. Iggy.
Is it Iggy Pop or?
Well, it's indirectly. Do you watch the anime JoJo's the Adventures of JoJo?
Yeah, I've seen some of it. Yeah,
I don't think I've seen that.
And there's a dog named Iggy in that show. So
awesome.
He was named after that dog, but as it turns out, that dog was named after Iggy Pop.
So CalArts, like, there's a lot of famous people like yourself who.
Yeah, I was
there.
not in the character animation program. I was in the film graphics experimental animation program.
Oh, okay.
Because like I said, I had no interest in Disney movies, as a teenager, and I wanted to do like commercials and, Levi's commercials or any kind of like advertising kind of stuff. I just wanted to be an animator. So I guess you could say, I'm at heart an animator. I didn't really understand animation directing or writing. The character animation program was kind of, I found out there was kind of a wall between the two programs. I thought there would be more cross pollination, but they were very kind of segregated. So I wasn't with the class that had all these Disney guys and Pixar guys that graduated and went on to those studios. I was not kind of in that group.
Right.
The people that were in film graphics were like Bill Kopp, Peter Chung. You've probably heard of. He did Aeon Flux.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, but I did want to learn character animation as well. So I went there for 3 years and worked on, just finishing little pieces of animation so that I could get a job as an animator. And one of the things I did was finish a short film. Well, I finished a pencil test, Jack Mack and Rad Boy Go, which I used to get animation work in Hollywood. And I worked on like, a bunch of commercials and stuff for about 5 years. About 4 years, I kind of, really struggled to get by until I landed the gig as an animator on the Tracy Ullman Simpsons shorts.
Wow.
Which led into directing.
Before we go into that, though, I think you worked on one of my favorite '80s films with John Cusack.
Oh yeah,
One Crazy Summer.
Yeah, Bill Kopp directed the animation on that.
So is it the intro sequence you worked on then?
Yeah, the director Steve Holland hired Bill to handle the animation, and Bill hired me and a couple of other guys. That was a really fun, like 9 months.
9 months you got to do that?
Of animating. Yeah, that's feature animation too, feature character animation that's non-Disney. I think that was, probably like the best job that I had before, Simpsons. Aside from that Chrysler commercial for Mexico.
Nice.
that was awesome. Ever see that?
No, I'll have to have a look at it. I'll have to look for it.
I looked for it on YouTube. I could not find it. See, there was Alcoa Technologies. There was Downey Toyota. All the good stuff.
I was watching the Jack Mack and is it Rad Boy?
Jack Mack and Rad Boy. I finished that, in color in 1985. I enrolled for a semester at Los Angeles City College to finish that film. And shoot it and edit it and everything, and that was done during a period where I couldn't find any work and I was so basically unemployed. So I finished that short film to release to the public in film festivals, and that got a lot of response. Never really made much money, but it got picked up in Back to the Future Part 2.
Oh wow!
Crazy. Who was voicing the characters?
So I did Jack Mack and Bill Kopp did Rad Boy.
Oh.
So it was you. I was just interested to. Yeah, it was definitely you. Oh, awesome! It was making me chuckle last night.
I sped up the voices about 4 to 5%, maybe more. So it has that kind of frenetic.
Yeah, it's great.
Was that something you ever wanted to expand upon, or you wanted to like carry on?
I did. I pitched it 3 or 4 times, but I don't think anyone really understood that. I wasn't going to have them drive around killing cops and blowing up cities. you know, I think everyone was kind of too afraid to go there. You know, I don't know. They might just have thought it was ugly and violent. You know, actually, you know, MTV approached me to do it before Beavis and Butthead, and the Simpsons were just taken off. I was like, you know, they offered me this budget, which was which is so ridiculous. I think it was like $1,000 a minute or something.
What?
Or what was it? 10,000. It was $10,000 a minute. And I'm like, well, with what I wanted to do with Jack Mack and Rad Boy, like, there's no way I can do this. This is, you know, I want to do like something really, really good.
Yeah, you'd be doing it a disservice, wouldn't you?
Animation. You know, I'm like, and The Simpsons is like, this is great. You know, I'm working on this Matt Groening project. I think it's gonna. This is like doing the Tracy Ullman shorts. And I thought it was gonna go to series. I wasn't surprised when it went to series, but I'm surprised now that it's been going, you know, for
30
a million
years.
years. But anyway, so like I said, no, you know, I can't do this for that budget. And they never got back to me. And then they found Mike Judge, and who had done Frog Baseball. So Mike had the ingenious idea of just, you know, they're just sitting on the couch watching videos and saying stuff mostly. And so he could do it on whatever budget he was given. He could pull it off because he's kind of part stand-up comic, part animator, part, you know, film director. He's got a lot of talent to you know, a lot of different approaches to work with. So he figured that one out.
So the early days of The Simpsons on the Tracy Ullman show, like, how long were those shorts? They were like, what, 3 minutes long, something like that?
No, they were. I think they started at around 90 seconds.
Oh, really?
I think they varied from like a minute 15 to a minute 45.
And how long would you have to do, like, say, one of those?
We had 1 week.
To do blimmin' hell.
To animate it.
Gee, how many of those? How many of
Like
those?
all that's like storyboard, layout, rough animation, cleanup. 1 week.
And how many of you were on that as well?
Basically, it was a 4-week schedule, 5-week schedule. Matt had a week to write it, a week to record voice, a week to animate, a week to shoot it and edit it, and a week for sound and post-production, something like that. Yeah, that's why they look so kind of wobbly and weird. It's because most of it, I was animating it like straight clean. Like I would rough out the key poses, and then I was just in between it like clean, like no time for drawings. I'm just gonna draw the in betweens. I'm just gonna try this out. Well, time to change that or make it better.
So is it true though that when Matt Groening,
it was a week to write and record, a week to animate, a week for the cell painting, and then a week to shoot it and edit it. I think that was the schedule.
Well, you did a fantastic job.
Yeah.
Well, it got better and better. It started off pretty rough looking, but it had charm. It had a lot of charm.
It's amazing they've kept the same cast, haven't they, since then? Pretty much.
Yeah, and the voices were so good.
Yeah. So is it true, though, when Matt Groening drew The Simpsons, he kind of did a quick sketch and said, this is what I want it to look like, but thinking that it was going to be neatened up or something like that? And that's why they kind of look like how they look? Or is that just a myth? Or is that...
Yeah. He would give us rough, like storyboards, but really they were layout roughs. He would draw on animation paper, usually, and give it to us. And then we would basically take what he did and, you know, kind of trace it. And then later on we realized he told us, look, you guys draw better than me, why don't you guys just, you know, take care of it without me giving you any drawings. And I think that's when it started to improve as far as like looking more like they look now.
Right.
David Silverman and I would kind of talk about how they should look consistently, you know, as real animation designs and not as funky matte graining doodles. So, you know, I think I was drawing 11 points in Bart's head and David was drawing 7. So we're like, okay, well, let's make it 9.
Yeah, go meet in the middle.
Yeah, that sort of thing. Like, oh, that looks like a good Bart. Let's use, you know, look at that one when we draw Bart next time. Oh, that looks like a good Marge. Let's use that Marge next time we're drawing Marge. We never had model sheets.
Really?
It's all the series. Well, there's no time to draw, you know, model sheets. You know, we're just having fun. So then when the series began, we put together the first model pack.
Right.
David Silverman did the main title, and then I was tasked with putting together the first model pack.
Oh, wow.
And I was kind of doing that while I was directing my first episode, Homer's Odyssey. So,
because if I remember in the first series, there's a few episodes where the actual look of the characters look a bit off model. Like they're kind of, it's like the animation house that you used kind of didn't follow.
I think it might have been ACOM studio in Korea, but the South Korean studios would, you know, have this learning curve on how to draw the characters and how to, you know, what style of animation we wanted. So, you know, we had hired this director from outside, Kent Butterworth, to come in, who had experience directing series work, and he taught us some things, but he also had some approaches and habits that didn't really mesh with the style. For instance, his exposure sheets, you know, the exposure sheets were pretty loose. You know, he would do animation timing. Oh, you know, just kind of make this on 1s, make this on 2s.
Right.
But David and I buckled down and developed a very deliberate approach to timing, whereby, you know, sometimes we wanted things to pop, and sometimes we wanted it to look more rubbery, and we developed all this shorthand for you know, anticipation, overshoots, settles, what exact frames we wanted on 1s, what exact frames we wanted on 2s, so exposure sheets became a big part of it. And the more we developed that, the better the animation from South Korea began to look, because we created more of a blueprint for them to follow. I mean, animation production is all about creating a blueprint for some other studio to animate it. And that's the way it's usually done.
Because it's amazing if you look at the very first episode, the Christmas one, they look like how they look now. They look on model there, like, don't they? It's like amazing how they've stayed the same from there to now.
Yeah, I think the model sheets were revised and redone maybe 3 or 4 times. Other characters probably kept getting tweaked, you know, along the way. You know, but you definitely have the look. The look of today is much more precise and cookie cutter than it was first. You know, 7 seasons or whatever, 10 seasons.
So I'm guessing Simpsons now is kind of drawn. It's done digitally. It's done in the computer now. Yeah. So do you think that has something, like, obviously that's changed the way the show?
Yeah, probably. They might be using templates. I don't know, but I haven't worked on it in so long.
I was just going to ask, sorry, because we sort of skipped over it. How did you actually get onto working on The Simpsons? Was there a job interview? Did you know Matt Groening,
I had worked at Classy Chupo on commercials. Commercials. They were one of the studios in Hollywood, and they asked me if I would want to work on this thing, and I was like, yeah, this looks great.
So as a director on a Simpsons or a TV show, what kind of how does that like I know how to direct in terms of live action. How does it work with animation? How like is there? I know it's probably a longer answer or a question that can kind of go in various different ways. But like, what's
I mean, you need the script, and ideally you want the voice record, but oftentimes you don't get the voice record before you start. And on Rick and Morty, sometimes we never get it. It's always a temp voice that we're working with until later, till the color. Ideally, usually it's more like 6 to 7 weeks to make an animatic.
oh, okay.
So you spend 2.5, 3 weeks doing thumbnail drawings, and then you spend about 3 weeks doing like cleanup. It's not really supposed to be clean. You want to keep the storyboards rough, but you flesh in the acting and the shots and everything, the backgrounds and everything. I guess I mean it gets pretty complicated, but you have several teams. You have several directors, and each director has a team of storyboard artists. So there's overlap in the episode. Each director or each team has 2 or 3 episodes over the course of that season. So like the ideal schedule would be like the writers have 2 or 3 months to write it. You record the voices in a week or two. You would edit the voices. We'd give all that to the animation team, who would have like 6 weeks to 8 weeks to do an animatic. Then you would and that includes like a thumbnail animatic, and then like a boilerplate pass with the writer producer to work out rewrites, cuts, different shots, the staging, work out the what they all the details and stuff, what they want to see in the episode. And then you would ship it to the animation studio, which is usually Canada or South Korea. There's all kinds of places. But
I didn't realize they were animated in Canada, actually.
Yeah, and then I guess usually that takes like, I don't know, 3 months. Should take about 3 months, and then you get that back, and you have a color screening, and the writer, producer, director all have a pass at that, and you do retakes and post production, which should probably take 5 or 6 weeks. So if you total it all up, it's a matter of months for each episode.
So how many episodes like so say that so in series 1 you directed 4 episodes, and in 2 you did like 6. So how like would you be directing multiple episodes at once, or?
Yeah, there's some overlap.
Yeah,
you might be finishing up one episode while you're beginning another episode.
because like looking at the list, you've directed some of the best Simpsons episodes. Like the very first episode I ever saw was Bart the Daredevil. That was the very first episode I ever saw as a kid.
Yeah, Matt Groening said once that was his favorite episode.
Yeah, I read that, and well done. And then One Fish, Two Fish, Blowfish, Bluefish, which is a brilliant one where Homer thinks he's going to die.
That was so much fun, and I get kind of nostalgic about those years.
I mean, if you look at this run in series 2, then the next one's Oh Brother We're Out Though with Danny DeVito, which is another brilliant one.
Yeah.
Where Homer invents the car. Is it the one where he invents the car?
Yes.
And then Three Men in a Comic Book, and then it just goes on. You did Rosebud, the Springfield, the gambling one, like Bart versus Australia. It's incredible. So, do you have a favorite one that you worked on?
No, I like. Maybe I could have a favorite season, maybe, but.
So, which was your favorite season to work on? Then, do you reckon?
I don't know. Maybe 2. Once, I think that was the season I did like 5 1/3 episodes. I did 5 episodes one year. I just never went back to my apartment unless it was just to sleep and eat.
Like it definitely hit its stride in series 2 and 3, didn't it? I think Simpsons.
Yeah, yeah. I think we kind of nailed the style of the animation in season 2. There's some good stuff in season 1 though.
So how come you decided to depart after series 7 then?
So I was offered the Mike Judge job at King of the Hill, so I went and did that.
Fair enough.
Have you actually got? There's a character in King of the Hill named after yourself, isn't there?
Yeah. Wesley Martin Archer.
That's it.
Yeah. I think they just kind of like that name. They asked me if it was okay, and I'm like, yeah, that's so we kind of developed this character that was loosely based on myself.
Just quickly going back to The Simpsons, because I know Tom wants to talk about King of the Hill, but so you did one of your episodes. You worked with my mind's gone dead now. The late night talk show host. What's his name? My mind's gone.
Conan O'Brien.
Conan, yeah. So
yeah.
if Conan's written an episode that you direct, do you have any like input with him or not really? Like, how does that work?
Only at the animatic screenings and color screenings, because Simpsons was very separate as far as the writers were at the 20th Century Fox lot and the Jim Brooks bungalow of Gracie Films. So they were, all the way over there on the west side, and we were all the way over in the valley at the animation studio, Klasky Chupo or Film Roman. So there wasn't a lot of cross-pollination there. Whereas on Rick and Morty, the writers and the animation team we're all in the same building. So there's a lot of back and forth. So I remember Conan, talking to him over there a bit, but he's, he was in the writer's room, and the writers would all work together from the writer's room, and they didn't communicate all that much with the animators. So I mean, those days we had like fax machines, so I don't know if you've ever had to deal with faxes, but if we had a question, we would have to write up a sheet with the question and put some drawings on it. And like in Bart the Daredevil, when Homer fell down the cliff, I did these sketches for Homer falling down the cliff, like just to kind of ask, how exactly this is going to look. And then, I sketch out him hitting the ground, and then the skateboard hits him on the head. It's kind of, like kind of an exclamation point on that fall. So I you'd have to draw that out and put it in the fax machine with a cover sheet and ask the question, send it over, and then they would send the fax back.
Did you find it quite daunting when you directed your first episode?
Oh yeah. I was pretty nervous because you're kind of put on the spot. I wasn't experienced. I was just kind of a kid, really, looking back. So yeah, it was quite stressful.
I was going to say you mentioned the scene where Homer comes off the cliff. I believe there's some websites that are dedicated to the in-betweens. Well, the smudge, is it the smudge frames you'd call it? Ollie'd know more than me. It was just making me laugh. I was looking at some of them are absolutely incredible. I just wondered if you guys were experimenting at the time with those, because I don't think it had been done in that particular way, had it?
Yeah. We would sometimes do in-between drawings in our animation layouts. So we had storyboard, and then we had a layout department where the storyboard is redrawn onto animation paper by animation artists, and then it's shipped out to the animation studio. These days we don't have layout. I think Simpsons might still have layout, but
yeah, I think Yvette was saying they're one of the only ones that still do it, I think.
Yeah, if I really cared about a scene, I would do a lot of animation poses in the layout. I don't almost animate it myself sometimes.
So yeah, so you also got to direct the pilot of King of the Hill, didn't you? So do you feel like you were kind of given the task to kind of set the bar then for?
Yeah, we were. Yeah, that was pretty rough at the time. It was difficult to find people to work on that show because the animation business had full employment, and a lot of animators kind of wanted to work on more animation centric shows that were more cartoony, and King of the Hill was very much a style, a deliberate, like writerly style where you really had to pull back the cartooniness and treat it more as a director would treat kind of live action actors and stuff when you drew it. So and I was supervisor, so as supervising director, a big part of the job is that you have to focus on training and promoting and managing artists, and finding artists to hire to join the staff.
So how does a supervising director differ to, say, just a director itself?
Pretty much in those ways. I mean, you look at what the directors are turning in, and you have notes and ideas that you add to that.
Oh, I see. So you're like the overall director of the directors. So it's kind of like you're the top, then they branch
Well,
out.
yeah, it's kind of like quality control and style consistency, and addressing any problem areas that or things that require extra work, or hiring people and managing staff and trying to promote people and get people to enjoy the work and environment, and try to make it easier for them.
I remember Yvette saying that she found it, when she started to work with Mike, that she found it difficult because, as you were saying, like he likes things without flourishes, or like the anticipation and stuff. He kind of is very much matter of fact, isn't it? How did you find that, like going from The Simpsons to that?
Yeah, I understood that. I like working with Mike a lot. Yeah, I had to work with the crew, with the artists I had to work with them a lot, to define that and get them to work within that style.
I was just going to say, you working with Mike again on Tales from the Tour Bus?
Yeah.
You are. I've just watched both series back to back with my wife. Absolutely, they're fantastic.
Yeah, it's entertaining.
I was just going to ask you, the animation in that, are you rotoscoping, or is that from video reference?
Yeah, some of it is roto. The interview stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, it's kind of 1/3 live action, 1/3 interview, like roto interview, and 1/3 animation, like flash animation. So initially, Mike had just these live action interviews, and then he had someone do a treatment, kind of a filter on the footage. Have you ever seen the Linkletter? Oh God, what's it?
Well, he did Waking Life and Scanner Darkly.
Waking Life, yeah.
I was about to say, yeah, Scanner Darkly.
Life. It ended up kind of looking like that, and he wasn't really happy with that, and then he didn't want the animation to look like a version of King of the Hill animation. So I called him from I was taking my sons fishing in Texas, and I called him from there and said, we should just hand draw the interviews and make it simple and hand drawn, and you can shoot it on 3s or 4s. You don't have to trace every frame. And for the animation, we should look at someone like Raymond Pettibon, who did like the album cover of Sonic Youth and this kind of gritty. Yes. We should add crosshatch and make it stark and gritty, almost like a crime scene sort of, but to differentiate it from King of the Hill. So we added this, black and white kind of cross hatching and looked at a lot of Raymond Pettibon drawings to get that.
I didn't notice that at first, but now you've said it, yeah, you can definitely see it, can't you?
Yeah, for the backgrounds, I suggested to use like blocks of black and line drawing. So you wouldn't like crosshatch the whole frame and render like all this stuff with crosshatching. You would have like areas, that were, just more art directed.
Have you got any idea? Because is it that you guys have done? So it's the country. You've done the funk. Have you got any idea where that might be going? I'd love to see a punk episode.
Well, there was some kind of shakeup in those studios where I think like someone bought the HBO, whatever it was. So I don't know if there's ever going to be another one.
Oh, I'm
good. I know that he was talking about it, but I think he liked the idea of a heavy metal or of a.
Oliver, if you haven't seen it, you need to check it out because it's fantastic.
That it could include anyone who goes on tour.
So following from King of the Hill, was Futurama next, or was it The Good Family? Or?
Yeah. That's when my children were. Well, when my first child was born during those years, he was a toddler, and Futurama was canceled. So I went back to the King of the Hill. They asked me to come back. King of the Hill was kind of drifting out of what it was meant to be. I don't think Mike was too crazy about the direction where it was going.
So I kind of dropped out of King of the Hill after a while. What happened to it then? Did it kind of?
Yeah, well, it got back on track. It went out, I think, really at the top of its game.
Because I know he's kind of talked about bringing it back. Maybe I've heard rumors. I don't know if that's true.
Yeah, I don't know if it would.
I think the talk was that maybe it would come back and they'd have actually aged, or
yes.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah, possibly. Something I'd love to see, but
yeah.
Is that NDA talking, or is that you don't know?
Yeah, probably a little of both. I don't know.
So how did
work? It's coming back though.
Yeah, we know that. So how was like working on Futurama? How did that differ to like The Simpsons, or was it?
Well, that was very similar to The Simpsons, but they had some CGI in there,
yeah.
So that was cool.
Do you like CGI as an art form?
Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot.
Because you mainly seem to stay within the 2D realm, though, don't you?
Yeah, I've never had much experience with it other than when it was combined with 2D animation.
I think it's a great effect on Futurama as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they used it as cell shaded, didn't they? So it kind of fit in with the kind of the overall aesthetic, and it didn't kind of stick out like a sore thumb. It really worked.
Yeah, it's interesting. I have this mini Cintiq here.
Oh yeah,
really small.
What size is that one?
Hang out, and I like it. It's so small though. It's like.
What have you got, Tom? Where's yours?
It's different. Is it? Because
are we comparing sizes?
Here, I have the large.
It's my one, tiny one.
This is the old-fashioned.
Nice.
Oh, it's like really. I forgot what you call it.
Cintiq? I don't know.
Really big, heavy.
It's like an old telly. It's like the telly they do at the start of the Simpsons.
I've got the 24-inch 4K one. It is nice. I do like it.
I hope this one never breaks down because I love it. I don't want to replace it.
How long have you had that?
I've had this one since I think 2010.
Oh
2011.
Wow! I mean, Wacoms do last well. They are like workhorses.
Almost 10 years. So it's Wacom, right? It's not Wacom.
Well, that's how I say it. I don't know.
Tomato.
Yeah.
Maybe I've been saying it wrong all these years.
I never can decide which one it is. I thought maybe you knew.
Well, what have you got, Tom? A
My elbow.
Huyon?
I've got a Huey on.
I threw my elbow out playing badminton with my sons and throwing baseball.
Oh, I thought that was for because
Needs.
I've got one of the hand ones. You need to get one of those, Tom, unless you've got one.
Yeah, I've got one. I just don't use it.
You should. I thought the elbow one was for your drawing as well.
Plus, I have a left eye. I've had a left eye twitch.
Oh, I get that all. Whenever I get stressed out, I get one of those. So that's all the time.
You get eye twitches too?
Yeah. As soon as I hadn't had an eye twitch for a long time, and as soon as I got greenlit to make this music video, my eye twitch started, and I was like, oh, it started before I've even started the video.
I was going to say,
how do you get rid of these eye twitches?
I was quite nervous about speaking to yourself today, and I started getting a little bit of an eye twitch, actually. I think...
I bought a warm compress thing that works. You microwave it for 23 seconds. Any more than 23 seconds, it'll like scald your eyeballs. but it's great. It's these pads, and then it's got a strap that goes around your head. So like,
you don't wear that out then?
Minutes every night, I'll be sitting there with my eye thing on. The life of an animator.
So yeah, what was next? Bob's Burgers was next, I'm guessing.
Yeah, Bob's was great. I loved that show. It was a lot of fun. For me, it felt like doing The Simpsons again, sort of.
I think the heart of that show is it's brilliant. Like, I don't know if you've watched as much as I have, Ollie. Like, I've watched it from when it first came out.
Yeah.
Absolutely everything about it. Like, to the musical numbers, and I don't like cartoons when they burst into song usually. But I think it's every...
Right.
Yeah, and they nail it, man.
The songs are great.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. And like when they play them again at the end of the episodes as well, I'm just like, yeah, this is wicked. I could listen to an album. But so
they used to have this animator named Kat who would handle all those scenes at the end where they would have more full animation dancing to the song and stuff. She did really great stuff for that. So yeah, I did that for 3 years. And then, that production started to get a little weird. They kept trying to change the way it was produced and giving us less time.
Less time and less money.
They asked me to supervise this one called Murder Police.
Yes.
You ever heard of it?
I had a quick look before we came to speak to you, and I saw some screenshots, and it does look familiar to me, but I don't...
So David Goodman, who's from Family Guy, and this creator Jason Ruiz came up with a show for Fox called Murder Police, which was it was kind of like Brooklyn Nine-Nine animated, basically the same thing. It was a police precinct. And we spent like a year, and we completed 10 episodes or 13 episodes. Never aired.
Wow. How come?
Well, it was pretty funny, but the writing, I don't think the writing was that strong, but because of whatever reasons. But Fox had a change in leadership or whatever you call it. And the new guy didn't want the show, but he went ahead and paid for us to finish the whole series. Oh. And they had Brooklyn Nine-Nine at the same time. So they basically had an animated show and a live action show, which was basically the same thing. Right. And he wanted the live action show. So they never aired it. And after that, Rick and Morty asked me to come on board. Actually, Rick and Morty asked me if I would do it while I was on Bob's, but it was a financial decision I had to make where I had to stay on Bob's for health insurance and
grown-up stuff.
Grown-up stuff, yeah, a full year of production and this and that. So then I did go to Rick and Morty season 2.
So was your first episode that crazy episode where it's literally like a Zoom screen where it's like...
I was about to say it's like this.
Yeah, the time breaks.
Like, I can't even imagine how you'd go about directing something like that. Like,
Yeah, that was really interesting.
I bet.
I really enjoyed that. I don't know. I didn't think it was that complicated because we have digital technology now. I mean, I couldn't imagine doing that traditionally. That would be insane.
Yeah.
Without digital technology, you know.
So how's Rick and Morty animated compared to, say, like a Futurama or a Simpsons?
It's pretty much the same. Only it's kind of a bit more of a pirate ship.
Pirate ship.
Yeah, the ship sails through stormy seas.
Oh, okay.
Right.
The schedule is a little more. There's a little more flux in the schedule, you could say.
So with Rick and Morty, were you just a director or you a supervising director? What's your role on that one?
Yeah, I'm supervising now. I started as a director, so yeah, it's I love working on the show. It's fantastic.
The annoying thing the thing that annoys me about Rick and Morty is that every single episode has an amazing idea that could be a feature film in itself, and they just do it perfectly in these little 20-minute. And it's like, how they keep managing.
They are kind of like little movies.
Oh yeah, like like what they do in those episodes is incredible. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
So you said you started on series 5 now, then, or season 5? Sorry.
Yeah. Season 5 is amazing.
Yeah. Can you tell us anything about it?
No.
I was about to say no. And how many people have bothered you? How many people are nagging you, asking you when it's going?
No. I don't talk much. I'm a private person, and this is something I do once a year to just kind of. I think I should do it to learn how to speak and interact with people more. But I'm pretty much, one of the guys behind the curtain.
Well, the whole idea, what myself and Ollie wanted to do, is speak to the people behind the curtain. So it's lovely to speak to you, man. Yeah,
well, the staff
totally.
on Rick and Morty is amazing. The designers, the art director, the directors. I brought on a King of the Hill director, Kyung Hee. He's doing an amazing job, and Erica Hayes, Jacob Hare. Who else are we? I think Lucas Gray directed one coming up. I promoted this someone from Storyboards, Douglas Olson, who's doing an amazing job. So yeah, we have a crew of 4 to 5 directors.
Yeah, because there's 10 episodes per season, isn't there, or something like that?
Yeah.
So you'll get 2 each. So so I know it's been greenlit for it got a 70 episode order. So you've got a lot of work ahead of you then.
We're 20 episodes into that.
Oof.
So there's another 50. Yeah.
So how many years is that worth, do you reckon, then? Like another 5 years or 6 years or?
5 at the most. There's a possibility it would be fewer, but I can't comment on that.
I mean, you can either answer this or not, but has he? I guess Justin Roiland and Dan Harmon, have they got an overall goal that after these 70 episodes, is that it, or is it, or is this something that will it end then, or?
Yeah. I think it's going to go on forever, isn't it?
It's just going
to Rick and Morty forever.
I guess as long as you've got the ideas, Trey and Matt have constantly been churning out South Park and doing a good job, then I don't see why it can't.
Great voice talent too.
Yeah, I mean,
I know it's rough on Justin's voice, So
I saw an interview with him, and he was saying he was hoarse from it.
Yeah. I hope he has them insured.
We last week we interviewed a guy called Lee Hardcastle, who's an animator from the UK, and he actually did some Rick and Morty stuff. He did these claymation Rick and Morty adverts for.
Oh, those are so great.
Yeah, they're
fantastic.
Was it for Adult Swim? And he he was telling us all about how he would voice the characters himself, and then Justin would then have to revoice them for him. And he did such a great job on those, the film spoofs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, is that something that you'd ever I mean, would you like to see like Rick and Morty do that? Because I know Adventure Time did it, where they'd do a stop motion episode or something like that, and like Community that Dan Harmon did, like had a stop motion episode and stuff. Do you think Rick and Morty could ever do something like that, where it'd kind of like break the wall?
Anything's possible.
Yeah, I'd love
I
to
would,
see it.
I would
I'd love to see.
personally, I would love to see it.
I'd love to see a stop mo, a claymation Rick and Morty episode. Would be fantastic.
I was just going to ask, so are Justin and Dan more hands-on with the animation, would you say, than...
They're pretty hands-on, yeah. Justin, a little more into the design, but then when it comes back in color, he has his input, and there's a lot of back and forth with Dan in the editing room and whatnot. So yeah, they're very involved. Not like actually drawing, but
No. Is it House of Cosby's? Have you ever seen that?
Yeah.
Yeah, you showed me that the other week. It was brilliant.
Oh, I was absolutely crying at it. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, Justin is hilarious. His drawings are quite funny.
So is his new show is that produced at the same studio or?
Yeah, it is. It's all Green Portal Productions, and they're like one half of the building, and Rick and Morty is the other half of the building.
Oh, interesting.
I know that is it Justin does some work on games as well, doesn't he? Has he ever tried to pull you in to help with any of that stuff?
There too, but I'm not allowed over there.
You're not allowed. Why not?
Yeah, they just don't like me. I smell. I don't know.
That's why I'm not allowed to run to your house, Ollie.
Yeah.
I think it's top secret, so no one can go over there.
Yeah, because he does a lot of like doesn't he do like a VR? Hasn't he got a VR game that's out?
I think there's a VR game where you do your taxes or something, and you end up getting screamed at. I think it's along those lines. Yeah,
it must be a lot of fun working on the TV episodes where they kind of sit down, they watch the TV, and it's just like Justin kind of ad-libbing just crazy stuff like fire ants in his eyes and all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that must be a lot of fun to work on stuff like that.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So one thing me and Tom wanted to ask though, seeing as you worked on all these amazing shows, was there any shows that you'd have liked to have worked on but couldn't, or that you passed up on and you wish you hadn't, or?
I don't know. I remember like back in the day, wishing I could have worked on Ren and Stimpy. Beavis and Butthead, maybe. Never worked on that. Maybe the new one.
I was going to say, yeah, you can get your chance now.
Yeah, I mean, if there's downtime from Rick and Morty, So one of the tough things about Rick and Morty, or any production really, is that if there is a downtime or a layoff, you lose some of the crew.
Yeah, because they'll go on to another project, or
yeah, that's really tough. So it's like initially we thought maybe since there's another Justin Roiland show that our crew could just go over there and do that during our layoff, and then come back to Rick and Morty. With Solar Opposites and Rick and Morty schedules kind of being in flux, it never really worked out. So Solar had to hire a whole new crew.
I'm surprised you say that, because seeing as like you've been greenlit for like 70 episodes, I thought they'd just keep.
It would have been great.
Just keep going.
Yeah, and then our producer Mike Mandel passed away suddenly.
Oh yeah.
He was working on that, on trying to
Sorry
get that.
to hear that.
So that could be one of the reasons it never materialized. But that was a huge loss to the production, professionally and personally.
Oh, sorry to hear that. Didn't he work on? I know he worked on the Clerks animated series, didn't he? I think back.
Yeah, and Simpsons. I first met him on Simpsons, so I've known him for 35 years.
Oh, do you have any of your own personal projects you'd like to work on, or?
Well, during the lockdown, I've been messing around with a character that I want to do and post it on my YouTube, Archermation YouTube. I think I'm going to start posting it in August.
Okay.
Oh, fantastic.
So that's basically it's my version of a Tracy Ullman short. It's very simple. It's just kind of a wonky, mostly black and white, kind of New Yorker magazine style cartoon, which is about 1:45. So I wanted to do something like just go back all the way to the Tracy Ullman show and just do something with no model sheets and just I can do it all myself in a week.
And what programs would you be using for that? What would you animate it on?
I'm just doing it in Storyboard
Oh, okay.
Pro and Toon Boom.
Oh,
I'm just
Toon
doing
Boom.
it in Toon Boom.
Right.
I'm doing the voice myself, but mostly myself. I have to find some other people.
I was going to ask, like, so obviously during the lockdown and stuff, has Rick and Morty been? Was that one the downtime of Rick and Morty?
We're all working from home, and it's going very well.
Oh, really? Well, I
Yeah.
guess as animators, you're kind of used to just kind of your own company anyway, aren't you? So
I was going to say, I love working from home.
I wish it was more like 50-50, but like where I could go into the office for things too. But I like it. I moved my studio here. This is the best home studio I think I've ever had. I have like a painting easel over there, and I have a bathroom, and have my animation area over here. It's great. Except I have to let the dog in and out all the time. But
so everything stayed on schedule then, like even during all this
yeah,
crazy.
yeah, yeah.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, we're on home stretch for season 5. We're on the last 5 episodes.
So is Rick and Morty all animated in the USA though, or is that?
Well, the Canadian studio Bardell handles the actual animation, and we don't even have to do timing sheets, exposure sheets. So they understand animation. And sometimes it looks a little too puppeted, maybe, but we also have an animation crew in in Burbank, at the office who will give special attention and do retakes to scenes and make it give it a less puppeted type of look.
So they're like rigged characters basically with joints, kind of.
Yeah,
And then do you do like in betweens so there must be some form of like traditional.
Yeah, it's a
animation.
hybrid. It's a hybrid of hand drawn and puppeted harmony, Toon Boom harmony.
So would the puppeted stuff mostly be like 2 shots or close-ups or something like that then, or?
Yeah, they have a library of stuff they can pull from.
Right.
Yeah.
So do you miss like the old cell, like proper cell animation, or do you miss that kind of technique?
Well, not really. I mean, I like the Rick and Morty animation better. It's it's just I do miss drawing on paper. I do miss paper and pencil.
Do you ever do this though when you're drawing on paper? If I make a mistake in my head, I want to do Control Alt.
Oh, yeah, right.
And I'll be like, no, I can't do that. Oh fuck! I'm gonna start again.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I prefer digital because you can get more work done and it's easier. However, the studios, because of that, they just ask you to do more, so it's really just as much work.
I was gonna say, is it faster? But if they ask you to do more, then it's
right. Yeah. Oh, it's easier and faster. Then they can produce more, so it's not easier.
You do an episode where it's 4 screens of fully animated stuff non-stop for an entire episode.
No, but I do miss just the Zen kind of act of pencil and paper, where you have a stack of paper and a pencil sharpener and your imagination. It's a different experience.
Yeah, I don't think I've done that since university, actually. I haven't really gone back to that. I'd like to do something, I think, going back to paper and stuff.
Yeah, I don't think I'll ever go back to paper.
No.
Not even for something yourself? Maybe
it's just I don't know, maybe.
I was going to say maybe like Jack Mack and Radboy, if you went back to do. Yeah.
Do you ever doodle those characters anymore?
I mean, doesn't Studio Ghibli stick with paper and pencil?
Probably, but Miyazaki's like he's old school, and he's like I think he got angry with his own son because like his son did Tales from Earthsea,
Yeah.
and he got angry with his own
Have
son.
you seen 10 Years with Hayao Miyazaki?
Yeah.
That's so good.
But like he got angry with his own son because it didn't live up to his own films. So he just got, like, who does that?
Yeah.
Brutal.
So is there anything like you're watching at the moment that you kind of like that inspires you now, or you kind of really enjoy?
Well, I like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I like a lot of anime. A few anime series. There's this one called Mr. Tonagawa's Middle Management Blues.
Okay.
I was really into that.
I'm going to make a note of that one for after this.
It's a comedy. Japanese anime comedies usually are not funny.
Right, yeah.
But this one is genuinely funny. It's hard for me to watch other animation now because it's something I do.
Yeah.
Okay, so
what do you do for your downtime? What's your hobbies? What do you do that's away from animation then?
I dabble in paint.
Oh yeah.
I don't. It's changed since lockdown.
So what kind of paint do you use? Are you acrylic man? Are you oils, water?
All kinds of stuff. Gouache, paint, acrylic. I like to sleep.
You like to sleep? Is that your hobby?
I've really been into sleep.
I'm with you on that one. I think, yeah.
Walk the dog. This is gonna get really boring. I've upped my cooking game substantially.
So what kind of stuff are you cooking then? What kind of dishes?
I've gotten super good at salads.
Do you make your own dressing and stuff?
Yeah, like all kinds of. There's either the citrus dressing or there's the ranch dressing. The ranch genre has like avocado, black beans, chicken, carrots, cucumbers, ranch kind of stuff. The citrus stuff has like Greek salad stuff, feta cheese, olives, cucumbers. Yeah, it's a little.
That's completely my. That's
your vibe.
That's my.
So
domain.
your wife's a
definitely.
professional chef?
Yeah, she's a professional chef. She works in like a brewery and pizzeria. Funny enough, is it one fish, two fish, blowfish? Sorry, I'm going to get that completely wrong. The brewery and the pizza.
Blowfish.
Yes, that's it. She works in this brewery, and they've actually put a beer on called that now.
Oh, nice! Oh my god! Really?
Yeah, so I was going to speak to them and try and get you some. I'll send you some over, man.
They should make a bottle of it, but I guess that's copyright.
I guess so.
Yeah. It's just the name. I'll send you a link to. I think I've got you on Instagram. I'll send you something over, man.
They should do. What's the Japanese chef always says? Don't fool me. I always love that.
Don't me. Oh my god! Yeah, I had so much fun doing that chef and Mrs. Krabappel in the back seat.
Oh man,
I did that pretty much myself.
Right, we'll leave you to your day though, Wes. But thank you so much.
Morty is calling me, so
thank you so much for talking to us today. We really appreciated it, and
it was fun. It's good.
Yeah, we look forward to all your future work and stuff. So,
cartoons are live.
All right, thanks for informing my childhood.
All right, man.
All right, take care. Thank you very much. Bye. All right, so I hope you found that interesting. It's quite fun to talk to Wes and find out about some things behind the scenes of like Simpsons and Rick and
I was
Morty.
quite surprised that he was quite open with how far they were into the next season of Rick and Morty, which we can't wait for.
Yeah, there's definitely like holding back some stuff.
Juicy goss and info. Yeah. No.
I need to actually catch up on the last series of Rick and Morty. I've only watched up to the end of series 3. I need to binge season 4.
Yeah, I think I've got 2 episodes to watch, but yeah, it's amazing to have spoke to someone who has basically had their hands over everything that we've. Well, the list that we went through is incredible, isn't it?
Yeah, fantastic work. So anyway, don't forget, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Tom needs to use that because, I actually got some Twitter traction this week. Which was
cool. Right there. Sorry, Ollie. Have you got any more news for us?
Well, do you remember on the Lee Hardcastle one, I showed those Bill and Ted puppets? So I took some pictures with them. I entered the competition anyway, so I thought, fuck it, I may as well try. Even though I won't get anywhere because I'm not from the USA. But I thought, fuck it, I'm just going to throw it up on Twitter, and I tagged Alex Winter and Ed Solomon, who writes Bill and Ted. And yeah, they both retweeted it, and it kind of, I wouldn't say it blew up Twitter, but like I got like a nice 350 likes and about 30, 40 retweets. Although one of the guys that retweeted it is Harry Knowles, who
we don't condone.
No, we don't condone. And I felt a bit sick in my mouth when I saw that. I was like, oh no. But thank you very much to Alex Winter. I will admit, who was it who on our group said that we should contact
Gary
him?
Christopher Payne. So he's said to us that we should contact him. So you haven't you?
I have contacted him. Whether or not he'll even read the messages, I have no idea.
Well, I have my fingers crossed, and
I think he's going to be quite busy this year, though. We think so. We'll see.
Alex, if you're listening, what are you saying?
I think it'd be funny though, man, if we talk to him. We don't even talk about Bill and Ted.
I would just want to talk about the weather. What's it like over there?
But yeah, I am actually.
You want to get freaky with him? That's what you want.
I am actually going to try and reach out to the other co-director of Freaked.
Reach around what? Sorry.
Reach around.
Sorry. Yeah. So. Oh, this has just gone blank now. Fuck you, Tom. Fuck you.
So yeah, that was fun. But anyway, as I was saying, follow us.
I'm gonna cut all this out. I'm gonna cut it all out.
No. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter.
Get us on Twitter. I'm all over that.
We're on it. Facebook. We're on Facebook. We're good with Facebook.
We're good with Facebook. My mum's on Facebook. Hi, Mum.
She is. I think your mum's like our biggest fan. She's the only one who comments and...
she retweets every tweet I've ever done.
Good,
none of them.
Yeah, don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all that good stuff. And anyway, until next time.
Bye.
See you later. Bye.
Sweet. We're keeping that one. I'm happy with that.